How did the social and cultural life in mining communities grow, and what made each community similar or different?
Um, I think social and cultural life would have been the same regardless of the type of community. So I can look at ranching, I can look at farming, I can look at mining, um, which kind of leads back to our intro, which is how the mine started, is you start needing those things for people to survive. The houses, then your general store, then the church, then the shop, et cetera, et cetera. And so in most cases, coal mining communities are going to be the same. We've got similar housing, tar paper shacks to start with before you get proper timber frame homes. And most things were out of timber. Wood is a very plentiful resource in this province, and it's cheap, it's easy to build with. And so most houses would be some form of timber framing. Businesses, as communities grew, as the business was needed, it would show up. General store obviously is going to be there first, but maybe you'll get a land office to sell land to others. Maybe you're going to get a separate post office. Maybe you will get maybe a hardware store separate from a general store. Maybe you're going to get a blacksmith. If there's a railway, and in most cases there would have been a railway, you'd have the station. So you're going to need the ancillary buildings to function the station, the water tower, the coal supply storage, etc. And so things are going to build. And so in most cases, mining communities are going to be the same. The miners themselves, especially the families, are going to have gardens to be somewhat self-sufficient when they can. Depending on where you're mining, maybe you can have sheep or chickens or pigs or some form of livestock in order to provide meat, milk, eggs. If not, that stuff has to get shipped in by train. And so that would be the only difference. Do you have it yourself? Is it getting shipped in by train in order to get extra food products, things like that? Churches, one per religion. And there's going to be a lot of religions in a mining community. Yes, you're going to have a lot of similar people together. Usually people groups, when they emigrate to Canada, move as groups. Dinant, very strong of Ukrainians. That's part of Khalehla County. You've got a lot of Ukrainians, but that's not the only group there. And so Hillcrest, there's 11 official nationalities listed with the death thing. For us looking at it today, we'd count over 28 by country. That's a lot of different countries. That's a lot of different potential religions. That's a lot of different churches that you're going to have in the community. And so in that sense, they're the same. For leisure, depending on where you are, depends on the types of leisure you have. If you're in the mountains, rock climbing, hiking, whitewater rafting, compared to, let's say we're in Lethbridge or Drumheller, I don't have the mountains to play with, but I do have watering holes still for swimming. I still can have hikes, but I'm going to do more horse stuff because I'm more prairie centered. So riding and roping, those are going to be more there, but it's still leisure time. It's still time off. Community bands. Most communities would have had a band or somebody to play music for events, weddings, things like that. So there's a lot of similarities, but there were some differences, and it was kind of cool that different towns had different things that are separating them. So Mountain Park, for instance, had a fairly strong Chinese population, which often doesn't get talked about in coal mining. We usually just think of the European side of things, miners coming from Europe. But they weren't the only people moving. And Maid Sui and Maid Tui opened the first Chinese laundry and sweet shop in the coal branch. And they were very fondly remembered by a lot of the different people who wrote memoirs about it. Midland Vale in Drumheller area had watermelon. They grew watermelon. For whatever reason, the climate of Midland Vale was perfect for watermelon, which is kind of weird coming from Alberta, but that was a claim that they had that none of the other mining towns had that I did research on. Luscar, bouncing back to the coal branch, had a Philharmonic Orchestra, the only one between Edmonton and Vancouver. And so those are unique things to those communities that differentiate them from other mining communities. But the rest of it was the same. Leisure time is the same. Housing is going to look the same. Schools are going to be the same. Just because it's the same resource, it's the same money, and so it's kind of going to be the same style.